Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. So my name is Preeti Gupta and today we'll discuss about another series on the tutorials and another topic also. Okay, so let's start. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, before sharing my screen, yesterday we will move to the new topic, MVC topic. Okay, and today we'll discuss about their features and some internal work. Okay, so let us start. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. So features is what? Feature of MVC means that is provide you already know MVC like model view controller, right? It stands for what? Model view controller. We already discussed about if you not watching previous tutorials, please watch them, then move to this tutorials. Okay, so let us start. So features of MVC is what? It's provide clear separations of business logic, UI logic, and input logic. Okay, there is a first most features of MVC is what? It provides clear separations of like separate files. They create separate file of some business logic. Also, business logic means some models. UI logic means view, and input logic means what? Controllers. Okay, it offers full controls over your HTMLs and URLs. Okay, make it easy. What its controls are full of control over HTMLs and URLs, which make it is easy to design web applications and their architectures. Web application architecture. Okay, it's a powerful URL mapping component. MVC is what? It's a powerful URL mapping components using which we can build applications that have comprehensible and searchable URLs. Okay. Last one is what? It support test driver development TDD. Have you heard about TDD? If you're not, we will discuss deeply in TDD also. Okay, on this tutorials. So please connect with me. So we already discussed features of MVC. Why? We already discussed why we need MVC. We already discussed features of MVC. Okay, let's discuss about component of MVC. So we already know that MVC framework includes three components. First one is controller, models, and view. We already did some examples on these components on previous tutorials. Okay, so we already got this all the points. Let's move to the second slide. Okay, I am deleting my drawing. Yeah, so this is the image of internal working of MVC. So see, first we handle means model means what? A model which stores some data logic. I handle some data logic. I interact with what? Interact with database. Okay. Say interact with database. See, they interact with database like whatever we database we have to use. Okay. They send to the controller. First, they send to the controllers, and controller store their request, and they what they handle request flow, and they send to the what then then handle the request flow, and whatever the input has given they are given to the view like phase presentations. Okay, and they dynamically handle the presentations and randomly rendered their phase presentations, and they said like never handed data logic, and they send to the request response to our users. Okay, so this is the overall architectures of internal working of MVCs. Okay, hope you got this point. It's not a very big tough images, so we cannot didn't understand on that. I think we absorb everything how the process on this. Okay, so don't worry, we just like analyze all the things, all the theory, then we will cover, like we will do some project. If you do some practical, that time you will understand everything. What is the overflow on them? What is overflow of models, overflow from view, controller, etc. So don't be panic. Just connect with me. You will understand each and everything. Okay. Okay. So what is controller? Controller is the components that enable the interconnection between you and the model. So it acts as a intermediately. Intermediate means it acts like a view and sorry, it's act like a view and some models. Their control is just like a intermediate. Okay, so mediator we can say that. The control doesn't have worry about handling the data, logic. It tells that model, it tell the model what to do. Okay. The process, all the business logic and incoming request manipulating data using the model component and interact with view to render the final art. So responsibility is what? Receiving user input and interpreting it. That's it. Updating the model based on your user actions and selecting and displaying the appropriate views. Examples in a bookstore application, the controller would handle actions such as searching for a book, adding a book to the cart, or checking out. This is the overall responsibility and mm, how controllers are work on. Okay, it's just like a mediator of models and is models and view means whatever view we can create HTML page. This is the view. Yeah, JSP place. Okay, let's move to the view. View means what? The view component is used for the UI logic of applications. It generate a user interface for the users. Views are created by the data which is collected by the model component, but they data aren't take directly but through the controller. It's only interact with the controllers. Okay, so view is what? View is just creating the data which collected by the model component, but this data aren't taken directly, they through the controllers. Okay, it's only interact with the controller. Responsibility is rendering the data using a specific format, displaying the user interface element, updating the display when the model change. Examples in a book application, bookstore application, the viewer would display the list of books, book details, and provide info field for searching or filtering the books. So this is the overall of view. Okay. Let's discuss a model. Model means what? The model component correspond to all the data related logic. They store all the data related logic, handling the data related logic that user work with. This can be represent either the data that is being transferred between view and the controllers or any other business log related to it. Okay. It can add or retrieve data from the database. It respond to the controller request. The controller can't be interact with the database by itself. So controller can't interact with the database itself. The model interact with database and give the required data back to the controllers. Okay. So its responsibility what is managing data means CRUD operations, means create, read, update, delete operations, enforcing business rules, notifying the views and control of state change. Okay. Example, in the bookstore application, the model would handle data related to the book, such as book titles, author, price, and stock level. So this is the overall of models. Okay. So working of MVC framework with example, let's discuss about. Let's imagine uh, in the user send a request to the server. Okay, and in the user send the request to the server to get a list of the student which yesterday in the class. Okay, the server would then send the request to that particular controllers. Okay, the server send to the request to the particular controller that handle the students. Okay, Controller would then request to the model. This then controller what is happening. Controller this request sent to the models, and the models handle the student to return list of the student study in a class. Okay, so this is the same as what MVC work. I already discussed about on this. So the model will query to the database. The model would query the database for the list of the all students and then return that list back to the controllers. Okay. So model what? Model would query the database for the list of the all the students and then return back to the controller. If the response back from the model was successfully, then what? Then the controller would ask the view associated with a student to return a presentation list of student. Means the view would take the list of the student from the controllers and render the list into the HTML that can be used by the browsers, yeah, Chrome browsers. Okay. So controller would then that the presentations and return back to the user. Controller which take the presentations and return back to the user, thus ending the request. If earlier model returns and the errors, the controller would handle the error by asking the views that handle the error and render the representation for particular error. If are getting some error, then they showing the particular error on your web page. Okay. The error presentation will be returned to the user sheets of student and list presentation like that. Okay. As you can see the above example, the model handle all the data, the view handle of presentations and controllers. Okay, wait for a minute. It's just to remove this. Yes, finally. So, okay. So as we can see that above example, the model handles all the data, right? The view handle all the presentations and the controller just tell the models and view what to do. Simple. This is the basic architecture and working of MVC framework. Simple. The MVC architecture pattern allow us to adhere to the flowing design principles like divide and conquer. These three components can somewhat independently designs increase cohesion means what component have a strong layer cohesion than if the view and control were together in single UI layer. Okay. Reduce coupling means the communication channels between three um computers and three components that are minimum three components what model view and controllers that easy to find. Increase and reuse means the view and control normally make extensive use to reusable components and various kinds of user control. The UI, however, will become applications specific, therefore it not be easy to reusable. Fifth one is what? Last one. Designed for flexibility means it is usually quite easy to change the UI by changing the view, controls, or both. This is the overall um, architectures of basic architectures of MVC. Okay, let's move to the next. So, okay, so that's all today. Tomorrow we'll discuss what is advantage or disadvantage of MVC. Okay, please connect with me. Then we will do some very nice project. Okay, so please connect with me every time. And thank you so much. Thanks for watching. And don't waste your time. Keep learning. Keep motivating. Okay. If you have any doubt, please let me. And please comment on chat box also. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day.